same time. But with that being said, the road to Jakarta has to begin with the group stage. We are on day 3, and that means that we go back to Bermuda for our very first round of tonight. There's a lot to be desired. We have seen the Thai teams just basically tearing up a storm, and I want to see some of those teams that have been struggling for the first 2 days kind of bounce back a bit, show us a bit of that fight, because I think if you are just solely reactive, you are going to constantly struggle throughout the rest of the group stage.
Yeah, so a blue zone actually opened up very early into the flight path, and we see Anxiety already jumping in early on. The circle is definitely going to be centerwards. Don't really see much, it's something to be expected. It's not really anything out of the ordinary here, but the team's definitely spreading out quite a bit. I don't see any hot drops happening on the screen here, which I'm quite surprised by, because I was actually kind of half expecting Evo's Phoenix to actually contest Anxiety for that high loot zone. But nevertheless, we do see a couple of members from E-Arena starting to move on to Sem9 here, while NGX in the meantime, they are just making their way down towards the factory area, pretty much have their whole area for themselves, very much so. In the meantime, Sem9 already getting some shots onto E-Arena. Shut Up has already been taken down for a little trip to the lobby there. He's going to have to wait for the revive to come through, but that's already first blood going to Sem9.
E-Arena decided to go on an expedition. They sent 2 members into this compound, and of course, with the number disadvantage, they got absolutely punished, but we see Protete can at least get something back, right? Bring Sem9's resources down, get a couple of knocks, because I think E-Arena have basically abandoned ship. They would just go for the revive on the Shut Up and see how Protete handles his own. And this guy stood no chance at all. Fikri has just found him. Sem9, a good start to this round. 2 eliminations in the back.
I mean, this was literally E-Arena trying to gank them, but then it was a kind of a half-hearted attempt, to be fair. It only sent Protete and Shut Up in order to try to make this attempt, and unfortunately just conceded 2 kills to them. But nevertheless, they will be able to revive them very quickly thanks to the revive point that E-Arena themselves are holding in their area around Graveyard. So in the meantime, let's see what Axis has been up to lately.
Yeah, this is a team that on day 1 had an abysmal day. All 4 rounds that they played, they were basically backed up by whichever team they ran into. It's good to see them kind of bounce back ever so slightly on day 2, but you kind of still need a bit more. And then, no, Exact. He actually decided to take the zip line backwards, and that was the wrong choice. You never look back. And DNP gets a free pick-off off of that.
Yeah, and that's a little bit of a shame there. I mean, again, you went to on that zipline. It's still very slow moving, even though, ziplines tend to be fast. So he still leaves you in a very vulnerable and very predictable path. It's very easy for anyone on ground who spots you to just shoot you down. So, I mean, again, it's still it's still early game. You can still afford to lose 1 squad member, maybe 2, and you can definitely be able to come back. But this will definitely set back Axis just a little bit. The momentum that they had in the farming phase here definitely will suffer a minor blow. Then they're going to have to try to work a little bit to get it back.
And Exag is a very interesting player, right? Because he is one of the best we had, for almost 2 years straight. This guy started with Geek Fam, and he was the best support player at that time. Afterwards, after the long journey with Geek Fam, went over to Todak, and Todak had an amazing season at the very beginning, and then it started going downhill. Right now, he's with Axis as the latest addition, but I think ever since the Todak Great Depression, Exak has been struggling. Maybe not as an individual, but definitely with the team that he's been in. It feels like there's a bit of a disconnect with what he can provide versus what the team is able to do for him. And I'm not trying to glorify him as the superstar, but I think that there is some missing pieces. And he just got brought back, and someone is shooting at him. And he's going to be visited by NGX. And this guy's day is just not getting any better.
I mean, must have woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. That's the only explanation I could think of for him to get caught out like that twice in a row. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be revived anytime soon from the rest of his teammates, who are now locked in battle here with Nigma Galaxy. Caramel getting around with the motorcycle, gets 6-6 wrap all the way down. Now he's trying to find another attack there. Will they be able to find a last member still standing there? It looks like Nigma pretty much have all overrun Axis' own positions here. Flame7 seems to be the last person standing right now as Caramel and the rest of NGS are scanning around trying to flush out this last member of Axis Esports. But when they do, that may be the first team being eliminated here. Flame7 still trying to play dodge around the Rosies there. He's been spotted already. 3 people coming in all at once there. Can he get a knockdown? No, he can't. He gets taken down. But thankfully, Neptune had been able to run away from all of the action and still remains, allowing Axis another second win.
And Neptune slipped into the shadows. Thank goodness, because that was a feeling of deja vu from day number 1, where Axis was the first team to get eliminated without even touching the ground. We barely even get to play the game, nonetheless. With this Sem9 on the kill feed, getting a couple of knockdowns on first Raiders, but we also now see Daewoo United Esports kind of making contact with Evo's Phoenix, and kind of a half-hearted commitment because Evo's Phoenix have some of these members from Daewoo United surrounded. Rain first on the go down. Babs doesn't have much glue walls to work with. In fact, he has just used his last one, so Evo's Phoenix just mows through him. 2 quick eliminations. Iki also found out as well, so Virus becomes the last guy that is scurrying away into the wild, and he is the last hope for Daewoo United.
Yeah, he's going to have to stay as far away as he can, or perhaps even delay the rest of Evo's Phoenix trying to bring Ching Chase. And that's what exactly Brian is trying to do over here. He's just keeping them occupied while his teammate is going to run away and try to find a revive point. Seems to be working so far. He's able to hold them for quite a bit. Unfortunately, now he's been taken down. But by the time they do, Virus is already far and long away from this fight now. So definitely keeping Daewoo in play right now. 12 teams still remain.
Definitely loving Evo's Phoenix. Just like what we saw on that world stage, this is just a masterclass of Free Fire. And the best part is that they're letting already get a couple of games in there. Letting him get that experience because you know the god roster for Evo's Phoenix is with Get High, but already being kind of the 5th member. And right now, you kind of give this man some opportunity to showcase what he's made of. You see that Evo's Phoenix have everyone on lockdown, regardless of who is playing in that round. Anxiety having the last member of Daewoo United locked down as well. Virus goes out, and Anxiety claims the life of Daewoo United.
Oh man, it's so unfortunate because Virus, I think he was headed for that buy point, but unfortunately Anxiety were already holed up there, so that was easy pickings for them. Very unfortunate for Daewoo, first team to get eliminated so far. In the meantime, I think it's a 3-way battle happening right now between Sem9, first Raiders as well as NGX, and got to be trying to find that one member just hiding behind under the bridge there. Caramel in the meantime getting killed onto Fikri there, so I don't think the knockdown has happened here for Anxiety quite yet. Nevertheless, though, things are getting a bit crowded over by the circle here, while Konoho picks up the zip line, trying to get all the way to the safe zone as quickly as he can. Now we're going to be riding aboard with Expand here because they're locked in battle now with E-Arena, who have brought the big guns and a couple of wheels as well. Shut up, riding on that motorcycle there. Definitely will have alerted Expand to the fact that they are in the area, but who's going to be the first one to let off that shot?
Yeah, while that was happening, Sem9 has already been knocked out. And shut up! What a shot into Roy. Expand needs to kind of get him back up, but E-Arena is one of the most aggressive teams you will see in this tournament besides Evo's Phoenix. This is gonna not be an easy task for Expand to execute, with E-Arena having a lot of these angles basically covered. Roy will be brought back up, but E-Arena are just scanning the area to see if they can find a corner in. And this, it will give Expand a couple of minutes, maybe just a minute or two to set things up, but E-Arena are always watching.
Yeah, always positioning themselves, making sure they have a perfect opportunity to attack.
What?
Phoenix has just been taken out by FL. Flash literally wiped them out very early on. This is unprecedented right now. I didn't really expect Evo to be taken out this early on, especially given how successful they were in that previous fight.
Definitely a slow start for Evo's Phoenix. It's a good news for E-Arena, who are in 2nd place and wanting to catch up to that the Covenant throne temporarily. Potato catches a straggler from first Raiders, and that's an easy kill.
Yeah.
Still have Expand in their sights, and with the circle kind of favoring Expand just a bit more, we probably will wait until at least until the next stage for E-Arena to start considering pushing into Expand, but it has to be a calculated push. You do still have attack going around behind Expand towards the eastern side. This could easily turn into a 3-way fight.
Yeah, so it seems like Flash actually bumped into Evil's Phoenix there when they were at a buy point just at the edge of the blue zone. So perhaps a little bit of unfortunate timing maybe combined with like unexpected sort of assault at that stage. But nevertheless though, Flash is going to have to go the long way around to get to the safe zone, which as you can see is getting very, very crowded right now, particularly around the southwestern side. We already have the expanse already getting under fire from E-Arena, getting under fire from First Raiders and NGX as well. Then you also have MDH just taking position by the exit of the bridge right now, just not really committing too much to getting into the center of the safe zone, but the blue zone is closing around them though. MDH is going to have to join in a circle sooner rather than later. In the meantime, Expand still trying to keep an eye out for E-Arena. They've been facing so much pressure, so much fire coming in from that western side right now, and they really want to ensure that they keep E-Arena at least gate kept from that next circle.
And so far, E-Arena have been winning these long-range fights, and with XL going down, and no way to bring him back, no buy zone nearby. E-Arena, they're gonna pounce right now. They know that they've gotten the sniper on the rooftop down, and you can see this calculated, coordinated assault on the compound of Expand. Roy needs to hold on, but there are multiple members of E-Arena outside this building. Can Too Fast get the flank off? They need to cut their losses, isolate these 1 versus 1s, but they just cannot find an opportunity. And in fact, E-Arena might have done the exact same to Cobra, who is caught in a pickle with the members of E-Arena kind of coming in from one gateway. Cobra needs to somehow save his teammates. So far, they're doing a decent job at keeping E-Arena outside the building, but it's only a matter of time before E-Arena finds an entry.
Yeah, in the meantime though, Anxiety and Flash are fighting on the northern side as well. Hopefully we'll be able to get you some updates about what happens there. But in this battle here, E-Arena and NGX are now colliding with each other right on the outside. Ice wall maze being set up here, making it very hard to maneuver around. Enigma Galaxy loses their last member to Limit, sniping at them from a distance, pretty much allowing his teammates to scatter his targets and just making them wide open for the taking.
And that is why you do not show up to a party without an invitation. Enigma Galaxy decided to third party that one, and they were the one who got taken out. And that means minor lifeline for an Expand. They slipped away, but not too far. They still have to contend with E-Arena. They still have attack all around behind them. Meanwhile, Anxiety runs into Team Flash, but a good shot from Brian will bring Anxiety's numbers down to just 2. It's Jaboywa and Toby, and with Toby going down, it's just Jaboywa to kind of keep his team in the running. It is not an easy task. Glue Wall is up. He will bring Toby back up, but with the Blues are pushing them, there will be no time to heal, and it might just be the end of the run for Anxiety in this round number 1.
Yeah, they're gonna have to get the heal up as quickly as they can. Looks like Got to Be is just barely big to get past there while the blue zone stops in its tracks. But then Flash is still trying to keep them gate kept from the next blue zone at the moment. And now when the glue wall went down, forcing them to go prone right now. But thankfully they still have one more glue wall to use. But that's pretty much the last glue wall, actually second to last glue wall that Jaboy is going to have here. In the meantime, E-Arena getting ganked inside the compound here. Expand trying their very best, going fine. Oh, they couldn't make it though. Limit had the max 7 at the ready, takes down the attackers, and Expand leaves the lobby.
Yeah, Anxiety might join them very soon. Toby, last man standing. Blue zone damaging him as well with the members of Team Flash constantly just pelting him with bullets. Can he kind of win this 1 versus 3? It's not easy, and it's now impossible. Bio just catches him on the flank. Expand Roy almost saving it, and now the two Titans fight up against each other, but it seems like MDH, they show up from behind, attack all around, completely unaware, and one last grenade to do the job. MDH spoils the party. DNP on the ground right now. Team Flash, next target on the list. Attack all around, no longer around. E-Arena, they were just going to watch this unfold from the sidelines, but they will have to join very soon, and they would not be allowed to do so. Final 2 teams, and it's going to be to 2 Vietnam representatives.
Oh, there's not a lot of ice walls in their pack though, and they're going to pretty much run out very quickly, sending out every single throwable they have in their kit. They're just sending it MDH's way, hoping to be able to get a knockdown or 2, but MDH is cutting them down one by one. Kind of like shooting fish in a barrel right now as they're getting the majority of kills. Flash now desperate to try to regain some control here. It's Bloody gets taken now from the side, and the booyah goes all the way to these boys here.
What a performance from MDH. Not only did they pick the right fight, it came in from behind, took out attack all around, but they also played that final fight to a T. Great display from Newt. And especially we was like, wow, 2 versus 4, and they single-handedly stopped that full force assault from Team Flash, and the perfect cherry on top by Don't Cry, those 2 headshots at the very end. Absolutely sublime. MDH finally putting themselves on the board. This was what we slightly touched on at the pre-show, right? We wanted to see MDH being one of the teams that gave us a good performance, and they definitely did.
Yeah, I'm actually checking to see, are they the first Vietnamese team here to get the Booyah? I think so,
I
actually.
think so, yeah.